Hi, this is Natalie Lander, voice of Kinsey, Tara Branford, Stargirl, and many others. You are listening to a W2M Net podcast. You can visit W2Mnet.com for other podcasts about entertainment, video games, sports, and wrestling. You are listening to Video Games to the Max.
Hello and welcome to another edition of Video Games to the Max. This is episode 266. I am your host, Sean Garmer, and here with me as always, Mr. Marc Morrison.
Howdy.
And, well, we of course are the official video games podcast at W2Mnet.com and in partnership with Last Word on Gaming. And, well, I finally did it. It is out there. My East 9 Monstrum Nox review, my first review of 2021, is finally done, so now I can actually get to playing games again. So that will be fun, even though now we're playing two games at once, even though one's a lot shorter than the other one. So hopefully I can get that Retro Mania review done. And yeah. Mr. Marc Morrison, of course, is here too. He's working on some things.
Yeah, I beat Strikers finally. I destroyed Strikers actually.
You over-leveled so much after doing all those things that.
No, actually, I made a fatal error. I had a completed save, and I was just maxing out. I was trying to level characters to 70. Mm-hmm. Which takes forever with certain characters. You know, it's not like that bad, but you just have to use them. And like, I didn't level everyone at the same time.
Right.
So like, my main party was like, they were 70, but like, I think like Ryuji was like 51. It's like, oh god. And I had to basically play like the last level at like maximum security to like spawn treasure demons because like they were like the one thing that could give like a lot of experience.
Yeah.
So that took about a good 4 hours. Got everyone to 70, and then I was like, alright, new game plus time, because you have to complete the compendium, and there's like one demon, I think it's Lucifer, they can only do a new game plus. The fatal error I made was you have to be level 90 to make Lucifer, and my main character was only like 70, I think like 81. So I had to play through that fucking game, like, pretty much new to the end again. Just like, buttoning through it, going to the quickest possible, and it still took me a long ass time. Like, if I was smarter, I should have just leveled my character on the completed save to like 90, then reload, new game plus it, and then the moment I can make Persona, make it, and then I'm done. But I didn't do that, unfortunately. So that took me a while. I mean, thank God I was watching Bones, because, just not pay attention to the game at all and just watch this crappy TV show or somewhat very pedestrian TV show. That was fun, but I got the Platinum Trophy in that, so that makes me happy.
Well, I mean, that's the important part. You got the Platinum, you got to beat it. It sucks that it took you a lot longer than you wanted it to.
Yeah. I think it's a good game. It's not, I still don't like the genre that much. I mean, they do a lot to, make it a Persona game. This is not like, it's some stupid Dynasty Warriors clone. So that really helps. If it was still like the Dynasty Warriors thing about like territory control and all that crap, I'd be like, no. But the fact this has a story and pretty defined levels is very nice.
Yeah, I mean, how does Jens feel about it? The same way as you, or he?
I mean, he loves it. I think it's like one of his favorite games of the year, at least so far, of the one other game he's probably played this year. I mean, but I know it'll be on his top 10 list, I'm sure. It might be on mine. It's probably lower than his, but.
Well, I mean, is he a bigger fan of the genre than you are, or there was a lot more for him to like about it than?
Well, he likes those Dynasty Warrior games, so.
Okay, yeah, that's true. He did like, enjoy the One Piece one like I did. So
Yeah. And like he likes, I mean, they're not quite the same game, but he likes all the stupid Earth defense games also.
oh yeah,
but,
he loves those Earth defense games.
Yeah. But I'm happy to play Strikers and beaten it, and now I will never touch it again, probably, unless I need to capture footage or something. Yeah.
Oh, you don't think they're gonna add any kind of DLC or?
I doubt it. I mean, there's no real, I mean, I guess they could, but there's no real, like, easy way to do it, like, or story reason, really. Because at the end of the game, they all kind of separate again. So, we're having a sleepover, and here's a new boss, or here's a new jail to explore. So, yeah, it's cool. But, I mean, I got sick of it, like, near the end. That's the issue, because I was just tired of it. I was, like, burning out on it.
Well, I mean, you, like, made yourself do some crazy things to get the platinum that I guess you didn't have to do either.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, I think I want to say there are maybe 7 dungeons in the game total, like 7 jails.
Yeah.
In my New Game Plus, I got to the 6th one before I got to, like, level 90. And that takes a while. Like, even if you were really just, just ignoring all the story and skipping everything, it still takes a while.
Yeah, that'll make a big difference there, but, I mean, like, at least, you were able to finish it before you, like, totally hated it, so.
Yeah.
That's the important part. I mean, so are you moving on to?
Yeah, I got back to Everspace 2 a little. I played, like, a mission of that. That was cool. I like, stumbled on an enemy base, and I had, like, a mission, destroy the base, and I was like, alright. So I started blowing up all the turrets and crap, but it had this, like, bomb launcher thing that was, like, shielded. And I was like, how do I blow this up? And then I realized, like, it was literally chucking bombs at me that I could grab. And I was like, oh, okay. So I just grabbed one and threw it back at it and blew it up. I'm like, yeah, I like this game. And the other game I got, just a few days ago was The Climb 2 on the Oculus Quest.
What is that?
That's a game where you climb, and this one has a little more varied, but you basically climb environments, to climb, like buildings or like glaciers or, mountains and stuff like that. It's pretty immersive. Like, your hands, like, you have to, like, the whole thing is, like, predicated on, like, stamina meters. You have to, like, conserve stamina and, it's kind of like an exploration game and also like kind of like a race game. It looks really nice. I mean, it's Crytek, and when they want to, they can make good-looking games.
I mean, yeah, that's true too.
Yeah. It's funny because, like, the city it's like a quasi-futuristic city. Like, it looks like a city like 10 years in the future or something like that. But it really reminds me of, like, Mirror's Edge, all that, like, all that parkour, or, just like climbing up. You can climb up any surface and stuff like that. Like, this isn't quite as open as that, but it looks like that type of city,
Well, that's fun. I mean, like, I liked Mirror's Edge for, like, what it was.
Yeah, I thought the controls in that game were really bad. Like, I mean, if you got into a good rhythm, it was cool, but, like, I got, like, stuck in, like, some, like, corridor, like, or it was, like, some basement, or, I don't know if it was a basement, but it was, like, some access route. And it's like, oh, you have to, like, jump up the wall, do a 180 to get, like, this other platform, and, just keep going that way. And I'm like, this feels really bad now. Like, and I mean, I got the second one, and I barely even played. I mean, the first one, I played more of. I mean, most people did, but the second one, I don't think anyone really played.
Oh, no, I mean, the second one was, it came and went, and I think that was so funny. It was like, everybody wanted that game to get the sequel so bad.
Yeah, and then,
I
mean, it's not a terrible game, but yeah, just really, like, it was like open world, and you had all the stupid side missions, and it's like, this is kind of really not what this game could have been. Or,
it's like nobody asked for that. Like, that's one of those times where, okay, if you would have done a little bit more than, like, just do more of what people wanted,
yeah,
it wouldn't have been the worst thing in the world.
Right.
And, like, I don't know, sometimes when you try to go too far away from what it was, like, I get it, like, EA was trying to give it more...
Well, like, replay value. value, or I mean, because the first game was a pretty linear experience, or you may have had like a few side missions, maybe, but like it's all about like I think getting to your sister or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the climb 2 is cool. It's a good exercise, kind of, because you do have to move around, even though, I mean, to like see where the new handheld holds are and stuff like that. And yeah, I like that game. It's better than the first one too, I think.
So how is the Oculus the one you have, I guess, wireless?
Yeah, the Quest. I have the Quest 1, the first one. It's a little janky on that, like you can tell, like it's struggling just a tad, but
okay.
I like looked up one time, like in the city, and I could see this building, and like it was like alias to crap, and I was like, yeah, I'm not supposed to be looking at that, am I? Like,
but do you have to have it like connected to your computer, or? Oh
no, the Quest that's the one that's all hands free or computer free. So yeah.
Do you ever feel like you're going like too far in one direction, or like do you feel like you bumped into stuff, or?
I mean, occasionally, like I've knocked into my hand into some stuff, like not hard or anything. The Quest has like a guardian system, for like denoting your play area, and I just never have room. I mean, again, I have a very small room, and even my living room isn't that big, so.
Yeah.
If I really want to screw around with this thing, I feel like go outside.
And I don't know, that has its disadvantages too, because then you run onto the street.
No, I mean, I have a big backyard. I mean, that'd be fine, honestly. But yeah, it's just like not conducive to like the amount of space I have. But I mean, that's fine.
So like, what are the control? Like, what kind of controllers is it?
Well, it has like the two like just Quest controllers. Like they have a few buttons on them and they have a big ring on them, like on the top kind. I mean, the Quest has gotten into like hands-free controllers. I don't know if the Climb 2 uses that or not. That'd be really cool actually if it did. But like, it can like follow your hands and like if you're pinching or like what you're doing with your hands, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. That's cool.
Yeah. And yeah, Quest is fine. I mean, the new one is a lot better, I gather, except for the control. I think the controls are worse from what I heard. That's about it.
How do you make the controllers worse?
From what I heard, they cheaped out on them a little. They don't track quite as well as the first ones did. And I think they had like a different battery, so they don't quite feel as heavy either. I think the Quest 1 controller is
cheaper than the Quest 1, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. They got to cheap out on something.
Yeah, they had like a better headset, like better processor and more memory. But yeah, that's like the controller's like the one area where they kind of skimped out a little.
That's sad here, but yeah,
I think eventually when they make like a Quest 3, I'll probably upgrade to that one. Like I'll sell my current one and go to that one if I can.
Well, let's see. Hopefully by then but wouldn't you also have to get like a computer that can?
I mean, my current computer can run it. Yeah. And again, the Quest is all like in the headset, so it's all has a computer built into it, or basically a computer.
So it's like. Well, because remember we had the issue where you said you couldn't run. So
Half-Life
certain games it has to use the computer.
Yeah, but that's like a Steam VR. That's different from the Quest. I mean.
Oh, okay. It's not a Quest game. That's right.
Right. I mean, that game requires like 8 or like 10 or 12 gigabytes or something like that. Something kind of crazy. Oh. Believe me, the Quest does not have that, and. Maybe like the Quest 6 will have it, 20 years or 10 years on the road or something, but
yeah, when things are way past the 12 gigabyte.
Yeah.
Like when you're needing like 32 gigs to run something or whatever.
Right.
All I have. So yeah, because I was doing all the writing stuff and then stuff that I was supposed to write that I didn't get to because of having my girlfriend now has a pit bull puppy, and like it's been so long since I had a dog. So
yeah, it's gonna make that quiet household really quiet now, isn't it?
Yeah, like it's funny because we've just had cats, and then we finally let those baby cats out of the cage, and they're outside. They don't leave the area of the like where we have our sliding door because they're so used to us that they just kind of live around that area. And I mean, they'll roam around the entire like complex, not the entirety of it, but like most of it. And then they'll most of the time sit around, where the sliding door is. So
Yeah.
they're kind of still our cats, but they're outside. And then here comes the dog, and yeah, she is. It's a girl, and she is the cutest thing. She's like 6 weeks old, but she's, you can tell the difference between like having a pit bull and having other kind of, like I had a Maltese before. So it's such a different thing because she's so big for her size, and then she doesn't, realize that she's playing with you, but she's also biting you. So, like, she tries to lick you and she also bites you at the same time because she's got so many teeth, that a lot of dogs don't have at the age that, she is. So, she's also teething, so it was funny because I'm giving her hard food and all of a sudden she starts whining. And I'm like, oh, I forgot she's teething. I had to give her the wet food. It was a fun experience.
Yeah.
So, it's cool to like, kind of have a dog again and whatever. So, I was supposed to write about one of the things that we're going to talk about here, the Square-Enix thing. By the time I got back here, I got to edit Randy's review, so not only my review's up, but Randy's Little Nightmares 2 review is also posted on the site as well. So you can go read either one of those if you're interested. And so far Randy has not, both the games he reviewed got good scores. He hasn't reviewed anything that I think it would be a great or above yet. So we'll see how It Takes Two makes him feel when it comes out in about a week or so.
Yeah.
Marc is already working on his. I have not played Bravely Default 2. I've been doing the thing where I keep getting items, so now when I finally get to play it tomorrow, for the first time in a while, I'll have so many freaking experience and JP orbs that I have to distribute now. So, and I'll have a ton of money that I will probably not spend because they don't, at least at this point in the game, they don't have a lot of weapons that you need to buy. Because you can also find stuff, which I like too. You can do that thing where there's a lot of RPGs that when you're out in the overworld, you can use your sword to like cut the grass or whatever, and you find items that way.
Yeah.
So you can do that too. And Bravely Default, and I found a lot of the weapons that way. There was a couple where I bought them, and I found them really quickly once I started cutting a bunch of the grass, and I was like, well, I think I'm just gonna not go crazy about buying weapons because I'll find them eventually. So
right, yeah.
Let's just hold off on that. But it's nice that they give you different ways to. And if you want to spend money, you can. If you want to grind and get money, cool. If you want to just go around and spend time cutting grass, you can do that too, I guess. So I'll have more on that next week, and I have not played any Retromania at all because of the same thing. So. And then we just got told that in 2 weeks there's going to be no more partial work from home. It's going to be going to the office all the time. So,
Fun.
Not that I can really do anything when I'm doing that job anyway. But, yeah, so now I'm going to be even more the Sunday and Monday where I can at least sort of pay attention to Twitter and things like that and kind of know what's going on. Nope, can't even do that anymore. So,
yeah.
Going to go back to, I know where nothing's happening for the 8 hours that I'm there working. That job actually wouldn't be too bad. It wasn't because I live 45 minutes away from the actual where the place is. But still, it is what it is. A job, So, yeah, there was quite a bit of stuff that happened this week. Of course, we'll talk about that Square-Enix Presents. There's quite a lot to get to, even though it was a lot of things that, there's a lot of people do not give two craps about their Western stuff. And to be honest, I'm sort of in the same vein as, like, the Western stuff is not what, totally gets me excited or whatever, but, it's still good that they actually took the time to present that,
I mean, this was a pretty Western-focused thing, it seemed like, more than...
Oh, no, it was. I mean, that's what they talked about, was this is about their Western stuff, and they stuck to that.
Yeah.
And I think, give them props for that. Also, this is the best produced thing that they've done in a long time. Finally taking the cue from the State of Play and the Nintendo Direct, and those Nintendo Indie World Directs. It kind of felt like that as well, with the narration, some subtle narration there, and then also kind of just like letting the videos like speak for themselves, which is good, you know. So I appreciate that. They're not sitting there trying to like shoehorn a bunch of crap in there, and then we'll see. I mean, once it gets into the more Japanese focused stuff, they always say have to have some of the high level people talking, which, you know, that makes it a little bit different, but, you know.
I'd be good if they didn't. You know?
I mean, they're gonna have, I'd imagine they're gonna have, like, Nomura or somebody talking to explain something. So, and then let's not forget that, like, next year is 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII, so we'll see how it goes with that. But talking about what was presented at this Square-Enix Presents stuff, thing, they showed off Outriders, which the big thing with Outriders was announced earlier before this was that it's going to be Game Pass day and date, which is perhaps maybe not it might be the biggest third party exclusive.
So, okay.
Yeah.
Are you excited for that game? Because you always bring it up.
I'm definitely like gonna try out the demo now.
I mean, I know nothing about that game really. I may have seen the like an earlier trailer, but I just like completely forgot about it. And I watched the trailer they showed, and all I could think of was fucking Anthem. I was like, this looks exactly like Anthem, except for the cool flying crap. Like even like, oh, here's the tank human, and he barrels through enemies and all this other stuff. And I'm like, that was Anthem. Like, you know, like, and even like the weather changing, like, oh, it's like the weather can change at the drop of a hat. I'm like, that was also Anthem. Like, are they just making like Anthem 1.5 or what? You know, what's the deal?
Well, I mean, like, I think obviously it's like the character classes. Like, I'm excited for the, like, I'm still trying to decide between the Trickster and the Technomancer of which one am I gonna, you know, play as or not. Cause, I mean, I like the fact that the Trickster does the, like, time mechanic, but I'm also, the Technomancer, I like ranged weapons and things like that, so I'm deciding, but like what helps with the bringing it to Game Pass is I definitely do want to try out the demo now because I'm much more excited to want to play it, whereas that wasn't a game that I was gonna go, oh man, I want to spend $60 on that. You
shouldn't.
Like, not saying, I mean, again, I'm not trying to say that you shouldn't if you want to spend it, right? But,
I mean, I just had the vibe I got. I was this looks very forgettable and very, like, standard.
We'll see. I feel like people are...
I mean, basically you have the tank, the all-around general guy, you know, the screwball type, like, you know, time guy, or, you know, they have something like that in every game, and then, like, the mobility guy.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, hopefully it's good, but, I mean, that was, like, the vibe I got. I'm like, eesh.
Well, I mean, like, I wanna just to, like, try out something, cause I wanna support and hope that you can get, you know, more third-party things like that on Game Pass day and date, you know? So, I mean, it's good for Square-Enix too, because they don't have to do that, right? They could have just, like, they didn't bring it to PC, to not ruffle feathers there. I mean, they're hoping that it would sell well there with Steam and Epic, so, we'll see. I'm pretty sure then, like, 3 or 4 months it'll show up on PC. Like, that's the thing too, like, I saw a lot of people get mad about the fact that it wasn't, it's like, guys, I mean, for one, they do want this game to sell in certain areas, and, like, number two, it's also, like, think about that this is what happens with a lot of the PC Game Pass stuff. Like, this happens all the time where you'll get a thing announced for console and then it comes to PC Game Pass like 3 or 4 or 5 months later. Like, you know.
It'll be fine.
It's, like, I don't think you need to go nuts about, oh my god, it didn't show up on, Game Pass the moment that it did on console. I mean, like, you know, PC's got their own ecosystem. They got storefronts that, you know, you don't want to be messing with Valve and Epic too much. Like, you know, Microsoft doesn't want to be making everybody upset. Like, they want to make waves with console, but when you start messing with the PC ecosystem, I think that's two monsters you don't want to deal with. You know, they already got enough to deal with on the console side.
Or you see 6 months from now, and when the player base is already gone.
Yeah, that's true too. Will there be enough of a player base to?
And it'll be like popular for like a day and then fade away again.
Oh, I don't think it's going to be like Destruction All-Stars type thing. I think it just depends on. I mean, obviously, with any demo, there's people that are going to like something and they're not going to, right? I liked People Can Fly. I liked Bulletstorm. I didn't love it, but there was other reasons why it's not People Can Fly's fault necessarily. Maybe it's just
it was marketing's fault.
Yeah, I think I like the fact that they made it a point to tell you that okay, this isn't Gears of War either. You don't need to like be behind cover the whole time or whatever. Like we're putting in stuff to make you want to go all guns blazing if you want to do that too, which I like to play that style as well. So
yeah,
we'll see. We'll see how that works for Outriders. Listen, I'm not hating on it. Just neither one of us play Avengers, and even with the PS5 Xbox upgrade, with the stuff that we talked about last week, there is nothing there that makes me want to play that game.
Yeah, there's a funny Kotaku headline, I think it's posted today, about, like, Hawkeye can't save Marvel's Avengers. And my thought was, no shit. Like, really? Like,
I mean, maybe Black Panther.
I mean,
right.
Maybe, but it seems kind of a crass way to do it, I guess. I mean, I know why they're doing it, but...
I mean, but he wasn't ever going to voice that character, so...
Right, yeah.
Like,
how much... Do you think, like, if they had to do it over again and they had to make that game, do you think they would have tried to get the movie cast?
No. I mean, because, like, you're going to pay the movie cast, all your budget's going to go on paying the movie cast.
I mean, it's a different scale. I mean, the movie cast... Most of the movie cast is doing, like, the What If animated show.
Yeah, but that's Disney, though. Like, Disney's not fronting Square-Enix.
Yeah, but it's not like Square-Enix is, like, counting penny. I mean, they're doing okay. They could afford to pay those people if they want to do, or if they want to make the game a success.
Okay, but here's the thing. It doesn't matter if all those people are voicing those characters. If the game is not fun, that does not matter an iota. Like,
sure, but it would have helped with sales at least initially.
Yeah, but I mean, like, the game sold well. It wasn't necessarily sell. I mean, it couldn't sell as well as it could, but I think that's also out of, once you get past that initial period, there's that word of mouth that's bad.
Yeah.
So, like, if the word of mouth is bad, then all the people that were hyped for it that didn't buy it yet were like, well, why am I going to buy it? So, like, if the game would have been good, people would have gotten past the whole, this is not Chris Hemsworth and all these other, and everybody, and Robert Downey Jr. is not in it and all that stuff. Like, it's like,
I just find it funny that game has been out for over a year and they only have, like, 7 characters.
Yeah, I mean, at least they're finally going to remove the whole limitation on, you can't have more than one of the same character.
And, like, I read the Kotaku thing, and it was like, oh, Hawkeye plays just like Kate Bishop, except, like, Hawkeye's, like, quicker. And it's like, wow, way to, like, stretch your wings and make these characters, like, different from what, I mean, it's basically, like, they equated it to, like, in Smash Brothers, like, Fox is the fast one and Falco's, like, the slow but strong one. And it's like, if they can't even make new characters, like, new play styles, like, give me a break.
Yeah. I mean,
that was almost from the word go, that was such a misguided game, and it should have been killed off, years before it came out, and it wasn't, and now they're just saddled with it for however long they have to keep making it.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure, like, I'm sure Marvel has some contract, like, oh, the game has to run 5 years, or, something like that.
Yeah,
and it still pisses me off that they killed off, like, 2 other better Marvel games for this, like, stuff like this.
Is it Disney or is it Square-Enix? Again, like, that's the thing, like, it's not like, Marvel Ultimate Alliance got DLC, but it got to a point where, okay, you did the 3 packs that you promised and they didn't do anymore.
I meant more about, Marvel Avengers Alliance. That was like a Facebook game when they still had Facebook games. And then also, Marvel Heroes. That's like the big one. Because, like, that trailer, that Hawkeye trailer, he's just, like, fighting, like, generic robots. It's like, that's what
that's that entire game, though.
Yeah, so it's
fighting...
like, this game has, like, zero personality to it still. Like,
I mean, I don't get why, like, they chose to not include, like, actual villains. Like, I mean, that's part of also the draw as well of, you're gonna get tired of fighting the same robot over and over and over and over. Like,
well, yeah. I mean, it's like the whole stupid corporate synergy or corporate mandate. I mean, it's like the same thing that killed off Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Like, oh, we have to have the MCU type characters in this. And it's like, okay, now you just crippled the game. I mean, way to go.
Yeah. Just sometimes makes no sense.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's a bummer, but it's just corporate meddling, like, usual.
Sad.
On to other news.
Yeah, on to other news that is actually better is the Tomb Raider Definitive Survival Trilogy, which is there right now in the store. I'm looking at it on my Xbox as we're sitting here recording this. It's there in the store. If you buy it before April, I think it's April 2nd, you can get the entire trilogy for $20, which is actually pretty good because, number one, you're getting one of the games free. So, like, right now they're all on sale. If you go to any of the either of the two PS5 or Xbox stores, normally what you see is Rise of the Tomb Raider's on sale for $6, Tomb Raider's on sale for $3, and then Shadow Tomb Raider's on sale for like $15. Which, you know.
But you're not counting the DLC, which is also can get, So
like,
it's a better deal.
One of the games free, and you're getting all the DLC included as well. So, like, that's a pretty big deal, and for somebody like me that really I didn't play much of these at all, I just would buy the games when they were on sale with the idea of always saying, I'm going to play them, and then, whatever. But it's a good idea to buy them now because they're going to go up to $59 in 2 weeks. Or not $59, $50 in 2 weeks. Which, So,
they are a good example. I was going to say they're good examples of, like, 3D Metroidvania type games. Like, you see a locked door, and then it's like, oh, you need to get the upgrade to unlock this door, stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, and the first Tomb Raider was a legit Game of the Year contender.
The second one was.
Well, the first one was.
The first one is okay, but it had a few, like, tonal issues specifically that made it, like, really weird in spots.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when the game came out compared to what was out there.
Oh, yeah.
It was being put up there as one of the Game of the Year contenders, so.
Yeah.
And then the second one was, the third one, sadly, just.
Nope.
They focused way too much on no, it was the second one that got the exclusivity for a year or whatever, right? The third one was...
I think so. The third one had a lot of story issues, personally. Like, Laura, like, they turned Laura into, like, a really bad character. Almost into, like, a villain. So, like, she caused, like, I remember the third one, she caused, like, this big, like, flood in some, like, Central American town.
Yeah.
And, like, her partner is like, hey, stop. Like, maybe your quest for these this for revenge is, like, destroying the world or, like, just, killing people. And she's like, I don't care. I'm like, you might want to, or,
Yeah, I'm like, damn, like, think twice or something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing, too. It's like, and then also, it was interesting that, I mean, it's part of the 25th anniversary, obviously, but, they added, the Croft Manor in Fortnite as part of the creative thing. And then also the cookbook that has like 40 different, cooking recipes in it. And the anime, and then also, of course, the second movie that's in production.
Yeah.
So, lots there with Tomb Raider. Of course, that's one of their most successful Western franchises, so of course you're gonna promote it. Just Cause, they'd already talked about the mobile game, so that's a thing. It's there. It got its time. Cool. Not mobile people, so... I don't know, you like Just Cause, so...
Yeah, I'm on a
Yeah.
mobile game. I'm quite good on that front. And let's be honest, well, Just Cause 3 was okay, but Just Cause 4 is a disaster.
Yeah, you did not like that Just Cause 4 at all.
Yeah.
There are going to be 4-player co-op missions and then 30-player competitive multiplayer as well, so...
Can't wait.
And it will have a story campaign, so there's that too. Space Invaders AR does look interesting. I mean, I'm a Space Invader. I like Space Invaders, so I don't know if let's see if it'll work on my phone or
Right.
how that's going to be, but interesting that it's going to get an AR thing.
Yeah.
And they showed off some other little mobile stuff that didn't appear. I mean, Bubble Bobble.
Looked okay, but
yeah.
I want like just a regular Bubble Bobble game. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's not going to change that game that much. I mean, it's Bubble Bobble. That's how much you're going to... I mean, that theme song is still great.
Yeah.
It's like, you know... Balan Wonderland got a co-op trailer, so that looked promising. Of course, that game comes out next week. So it'll probably be I feel like it's going to be like third on the list of games that come out that day. And quickly, I feel like it's going to... That demo did it no favors. No favors at all.
Yeah, the producer like having to apologize for it.
Well, I mean, that being said, though, like, I will say, of course, the thing is, though, the difference between, like, let's say the East 9 demo that I got to play, which was not great, was way after the game had come out already in Japan, and that thing had been patched in Japan. When we actually got the version that I reviewed, that was more of the version that Japan had that was a lot better and didn't have the issues that the demo had. It just made that game seem totally janky.
Yeah, it's like how we get the international version, or that was like the old Final Fantasy, thing.
Yeah, like I just don't like. I hope that they could have improved it some, but as Yuji Naka said, or someone else that was during an interview, like there's only so much they're going to be able to work on between when that demo came out and when they're releasing this game, because Square's not giving them a lot of money to make changes, and also they're not going to push back that game.
It wasn't Yuji Naka, but it was like another producer. And I feel kind of bad for Yuji Naka, because it's like he had another game, that Rodea Sky Soldier game, that got screwed up with him also.
Yeah.
He had to like come out and like, because that was like, I think it came to the Wii U, and it had like the Wii version in it also, but the Wii U version was like totally janky and screwed up, and he was like, play the Wii version, like it's what I intended the game to be.
That shows everything you need to know when they tell you to play the inferior version.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah. But, I mean, still, it's good that it's coming out, and maybe it'll be one of those things that they can work on it after it's been out and improve it, So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But, the like bigger headline things, which it's cool to see how like Life is Strange has become this like big thing for Square now, where they're really making it a huge part of their like conference and saying, okay, here's the next thing of Life is Strange, and of course it's Deck 9, because I'm guessing, well, Don't Nod obviously went to go do their own thing now, but I think they also kind of had a split due to some of the Tencent stuff. Well, we don't really know, but I do.
Well, I think Don't Nod said they were working on some like Life is Strange thing also.
I thought they were. So they did their like Twin Mirror thing.
Yeah.
And then they did the Tell Me Why last year. So like either way, I mean, Deck 9 was the one that did Before the Storm. So they're back doing this. It's not like they're like totally new to this franchise.
Right.
So her power here is the power of like empathy instead of like having like mind powers or whatever.
She's the Deanna Troy of the universe.
I mean, I thought this was like well set up. I like the story basis for this. It's going to come to all the consoles. Of course, the biggest thing here is it's still going to be episodic, but they're going to release it all together instead of by episode, which thank God, because I feel like the episodic thing is just, I think it's getting to the point where it's really becoming, I think it hurts games more than, unless you're something like Final Fantasy VII, that like...
That's not episodic.
Well, I mean, it's not, but they're releasing in chunks, right? But they're releasing in such big chunks that it doesn't really matter. Like, the problem with Life is Strange is, by the time episode 2 would come out, you would have forgotten about what happened in episode 1. And so, like, a lot of times, well, I know it maybe not for you, but, like, for a lot of people, there was just, well, I think I'm just gonna wait till all the episodes come out anyway, because, you know.
It depends if the episodes come out on a actual good schedule or not. Like, that's the problem. Most games, the schedule starts getting screwed up, so that's what causes those issues.
Yeah.
Like, look at, Walking Dead had a pretty good schedule, but, like, original, like, Life is Strange did not, and Life is Strange 2 did not. Like,
yeah.
And, like, I mean, look at, like, you know, it's the same thing about, like, you know, like WandaVision or Falcon and Winter Soldier. Like, hell, they're all the episodes are done. They can just release them all at once, but they don't want to.
No, I mean, but, like, they're doing it because it creates, look at what it creates every week. People are talking about it. Like, so, of course they want that. So, and I think Disney they don't have enough content. They have to do it that way. But, I think, you're gonna be able to have, the choice between a male or female love interest, for her. So.
I thought that was interesting, cause, like, I saw some comment about, I watched the trailer, and in the trailer, they made it seem like the guy was, like, gonna be the love interest.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, I saw some comment on Twitter, like, oh, he can be, like, a lesbian character, and I'm like, alright, I guess, but, like, the trailer doesn't show that at all. Like, I just thought it was, like, really weird.
Yeah, it was something that was kind of just mentioned. It wasn't, you know, I mean, it's good that they continue that line of allowing you to have that freedom. And then also that they're doing the remasters for 1 and 2, Before the Storm.
That's what I'll probably get into more, hopefully.
I wonder why not 2 as well.
I mean, because 2 just came out.
Yeah, sure, I guess. You don't need it necessarily for 2.
Yeah, I mean, like, Life is Strange 1 is like a 360 game, technically, so...
It's good that they're doing that. So, they're really pushing it with Life is Strange, and that's cool that Square-Enix has really made that an important thing.
Waiting for Life is Strange, Life is Strange 6 when they introduce Kefka.
And, of course, the thing that they held down until the end, Project Athia now has a name. It's called Forspoken, because I guess we already had a game called Forsaken, so why not?
You leave it to Square to come up with some dumbass name.
I mean, at least it's not like, near replicant, version 12568, whatever the hell. You know, like...
Well, as opposed to Kingdom Hearts 358-2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, at least it's not something like that. I mean, it's something you could actually say, even though it's silly, right? But still.
I don't know, that trailer looked okay, but the way she ran looked really weird. Like, it looked too fast. Or, like, it looked like animation was missing from her run, you know?
Yeah, I mean... Like, it felt like the pathless to me. Like, will there be, like, a thing that connects her?
Yeah, the pathless is like the other fast-running game, right?
Yeah, but there's, basically, the fast running is, it's connected by you constantly shooting the arrows at the little,
yeah, like, that
markers.
That seemed a little better, because that seemed a little more, animation heavy, I would say. Or it looked more realistic in a sense, even though it's not. Like, it just looked better, I thought.
Right. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. Like,
yeah.
It's just, what does that all mean? And how is it gonna be done, you know? Like...
Yeah.
So...
Yeah,
I'm not, gonna go, like, I thought it was, I liked the actress that they chose. The line about the dragons was funny. So we'll see when this comes out, if it does wind up coming out next year.
Yeah.
I'm not, from what we got to see, it looks good. I'm excited about it, and That's good that they got to give all these games time. So that's the important part here, and yeah, and then they announced, I guess, they're not going to be joining E3. They're going to be doing their own thing in the summer. So I really want to know who is going to pay the exorbitant price to be part of that digital E3 thing, outside of maybe Microsoft just throwing them a bone because they can, I guess.
Right, yeah.
Like Sony, I don't think they would, and I don't think Nintendo would. I mean, they have their directs. Why do you need to pay E3? I mean, why do you need to pay E3 to be on the thing that says E3 when nobody cares? I don't think anybody would.
Maybe until like next year, and then some people might care again when E3 is like open, hopefully.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I feel like this digital E3, like, what are they gonna do with it? Because all the big players can just do Jeff Keighley's like Summer Game Fest thing, or they can just, Gamescom's trying to hopefully be in person, but I don't know how that's gonna work because Germany right now with their vaccine rollout's not doing great.
Yeah.
And even then, even if it goes digital, like, I don't know. I just don't, like, there's no incentive for indie games to go to E3 because, again, these prices that they're going to charge. Unless they're doing this free, but that's not the, what's been discussed is that there's still a fee here, so.
It might just be like a nominal fee, though, or, something small. Like, I'm sure it's like a sliding scale. Like, if somehow Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2 showed up, that would cost money, but,
yeah.
Super Meat Boy 2 or something smaller, then no.
Yeah. I mean, let's see. I just don't. And it's really going to be interesting. What is going to be there? How are they going to do that? Are they going to, like, part and parcel this where, like we had some years where Square would announce one thing at the Sony event, and then they'd announce another thing at their event, and then they'd announce another thing on the floor. Like, are we gonna do stuff like that? Like, that's, yeah, how are they gonna navigate this 3-day thing that they're still trying to do? But I think overall, though, I feel like we finally got something interesting from this, right? And, like, they showed that they could do a comprehensive, present show and promote everything that they said they were going to. They didn't really pull a surprise, per se, but...
Well, like that Life is Strange thing, it leaked like an hour before the show.
Yeah, but they had already said they were going to talk about Life is Strange. They said
I meant like the actual like image of the, the girl.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Cause like a friend of mine posted it like a half hour before the show, and I thought it was like screwing with me. Like, I was like, that can't be real. And then like, no, it is. It's like, oh. Okay. Yeah.
Life is Strange True Colors.
I admire how that girl in that game does not look like made up or like she looks very thrown together or like natural, which is like a total 180 from like the current Doctor Who, Jodie Whittaker. Like her costume is so like designed by committee or, just so like weird. And like you can obviously tell like it was like some stylist made it or something. Like this, like the girl in like Life is Strange just looks like a normal girl, or like she's wearing like normal shit.
Well, I mean that's the whole point, though. It's supposed to be something more normal.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's what they're trying to get at is let's promote. I mean, what Life is Strange is about of just giving you.
Although I think. The one funny thing is kind of like every Life is Strange game, I mean, kind of the first one, but more the second and now third one, it's all about sibling problems.
Yeah. Well, and then, of course, having the whole issue with, like, her brother, like, dying.
Yeah.
So,
well, the second one is about the two brothers, like, the older one having to take care of the younger one. And even the first one, like, Max and Chloe weren't sisters, but they, kind of basically were,
Yeah. I that's what I'm thinking of too, of like using this, getting the Ultimate Edition or whatever, maybe finally getting into that series, because I always say that I'm going to get in with this one, and True Colors, I like with True Colors, I feel like they got my attention here.
Yeah, I think the Ultimate Edition's like $75 right now on Steam.
That's not bad.
Yeah. That's or 70 or 80, but yeah, close,
To get like 2 games, and then also the third, the True Colors as well, so. It's not a bad grab.
No, Ultimate Edition is only 64, so, or on, Green Man Gaming, so yeah.
Yeah, but I'm gonna get it on console, so I don't know.
Yeah. It'll be $80 then.
Well, hey, I'll pay. It's like not the worst to pay that, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, along with that, so cool for Square. They got some momentum between the Outriders going to Game Pass and then also getting to have their little thing here. Also should mention that that doesn't finish though, Square, because they also have the like big drop of Octopath Traveler is going to make its big console debut on March 25th. I love that they just shadow dropped it in there with the other stuff. They didn't even announce it or whatever. So, definitely recommend go play Octopath Traveler for sure. If you have not touched it on the Switch or on PC, well worth checking out. Undertale also is available right now for Game Pass on all the 3 platforms. Empire of Sin is a game I'm going to check out now because I wanted to check it out before. And Nier Automata, if you haven't checked it out, you got basically the Game of the Year edition on there now for PC, and Torchlight 3 as well for PC. And I've been wanting to check out that Genesis Noir game. Looked interesting, so cool that it's coming on the Game Pass, so you can play Yakuza 6 and finish out that whole Yakuza series on Game Pass. So, hey.
Yep.
It's all on. I mean, it's amazing. Like, they went from having no Yakuza games at all to now all of them are on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I get it why everybody keeps thinking that, like, this whole thing with Microsoft and Sega or whatever, but Sega's also not stupid. Like, why not make money? I mean, people they're offering you this deal, do it.
Yeah.
And of course, this game that I know you and Jens this is one of your favorite games, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne.
Yep.
Finally got a release date for the West, May 25th on the Switch, PlayStation 4, and now Windows PC. That was not announced previously.
Well, Strikers came to PC. I mean, I kind of figured.
Right, but it's like, we knew Strikers was going to PC, but like, they had never mentioned at all that Nocturne was going to go to PC. So, that's cool that it is. And, I mean, are you going to get it on console still, or
I'll probably get it on PS4, yeah. Or I may just get it on both, like PS4 and Windows. Like, it depends on what stupid special edition, if they make one for, consoles comes out.
Okay, sure. Yeah, there's always that option as well.
But I view that as a, console game, really, so.
So I know Jens was saying that he was,
it has, I think it has some problems, or it's not like, I mean, they did, basically no work on it, or they just did very little work, and it has, a few issues. It's also, not a easy game to play.
Well, that's
disheartening. I think it's fine. I mean, it's very much a game of its era, so I'm cool with it. I played it before. I played it back then, so.
I'm surprised that Alice didn't. I mean, honestly, they didn't really do a whole lot to the games they put on PC at the, can you really expect them to? They're really just trying to make something off of the games that are just those games in general. So.
Yeah, like that Persona 4 Golden, it's okay on the PC, but it already had some issues, so.
Yeah, I mean, that should tell you everything you need to know. They brought over Persona 4 Golden just straight up like the beta version, just, okay, I can make it look better, but not really.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's the thing. But what's important is that it's coming, at least. So, a lot of people always say that, oh man, they should bring this up to PC, whatever, and, it's coming. So.
I know one common criticism was, the Nocturne runs, trash in the Switch, and it's yeah? That's not hugely surprising to me,
But it's also, it's a PS2 game, right?
Yeah.
Like, why is it running like trash on the Switch?
Because they probably didn't optimize it, or they don't care. I mean, technically, like, you would think that the Switch would have, between, strikers, between PS4, PS5, and the Switch, you'd think the Switch would have the fastest load times, because it's loading off a cartridge,
not really, because the Switch has terrible load times for a lot of things.
If you're talking about a disc versus, the flash card, or the, memory card, it's like, it still, like, loads terribly, so it's like, what? Like,
I mean, that doesn't surprise me, because, like, Strikers being the worst version on Switch doesn't surprise me, because you have PC and PS4, PS5 that you can, like, the better graphics. I mean, why try to make it the best on Switch? Like, they put it on Switch because just so people would buy it on there. It's not, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of people are buying it with the hopes of, okay, well, hopefully they'll put the other Personas on there, but I don't know. Like, I hope you're not just,
keep dreaming
yourself with hope there instead.
I'd be happy with a Persona 4, Arena, like, bringing that over, but that'll probably never happen either.
Yeah, that's, true too on that. Something that I think people really didn't expect at all is, Sony just flat out buys EVO, the fighting game competition, Evolution Championship Series.
What, not the Konami soccer brand?
Yeah, not Pro EVO, the soccer franchise that Jens thought was the... It's like, wait, what? What?
I mean, I'm into some fighting games. I think you're into, like, maybe, like, one or two.
Yeah.
Jens is into 0. So...
I mean, this is cool. I mean, basically it just means, like, Nintendo now has to figure out what they're going to do, because Smash this is now a Sony tournament, so...
I mean, they're still open. Like, it's not just Sony games or Sony crap. I mean, Nintendo's not going to have their own tournament. What are they going to have? Smash and Pokken? Like, no. Or, I'm sure Smash will always, it'll always be there, because...
Right, but there's going to be a bunch of Sony stuff all over the walls now. Like, does Nintendo, being Nintendo, do they want to put their games along with a competitor? Like,
they have before. Sure. I mean, yeah. Like, I'm sure some deal can be reached. Of course
they have before. I'm just saying, will they is the big question, I think.
Yeah. I mean, that's the answer. So, yeah.
I don't know. I could see them doing their own thing and saying, we're Nintendo, we don't, but, I don't know.
Yeah, the thing is when that happens, the prize pool will be, instead of like, $100,000, it'll be like, $50 in eShop gift cards or something, and that's about it.
God. I think they know they can't do that. You aren't going to go to that tournament for that.
It's funny, I saw some people complaining, like, what does Sony have to do with fighting games? And it's like, well, more than the other two. I mean, really, because they're the ones who backed, Street Fighter 5. Like, they paid for that to happen.
Yeah.
And a fairly close relationship with, Capcom, so.
Exactly.
I mean,
Nintendo does as well.
Well, not with fighting games, though.
No, but I'm just saying, like, that's the thing is, it doesn't really matter whether they do or they don't have anything to do with fighting games. Like, if Sony wants to buy the damn thing, and also, the owners or the major promoters are like, what? You're gonna offer me this to buy this thing and put your name on it? Like,
yeah.
Hell yeah! I'm doing it. Like, I'm not gonna say no to free money and then I still get to be involved in the thing. Like, yeah. I mean,
let's be honest. This is all just some viral marketing for Sony to finally announce PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale 2.
Oh God. Let's hope not.
It'll be this. This will be the instigating factor for PlayStation versus Nintendo Smash Brothers.
Yeah, but like, okay, so that's the thing for me is just people are, I think, making too big a deal about like, oh, this is the way Sony's going to answer the whole Microsoft everything that is like.
No,
they're not answering with that.
It's like EVO's not a developer. Like,
EVO is a fighting game tournament. Yes, it draws big numbers. Yes, people care about it, but I think there's also a majority of people who don't give two shits about this thing, and like will not care at all about the fact that Sony is doing this. The bigger thing for Sony is some of the other stuff they got that they made news with, which is Jade Raymond and her studio Haven. Interesting name there. So she basically, did she bring all the people from the Google studio that got shut down? So, I mean, that's the thing is...
It should be called Outer Haven, and she's making a new Metal Gear game.
Yeah, so, I mean, she said that she went through a lot of different stuff.
I feel bad for her, kind of.
Right.
First of all, I mean, she's an attractive woman, and now she gets very maligned for that, or criticized. But also, it's been like, I think at least 5 or 6 years before since she's put out like an actual game.
Yeah, because the EA,
I mean, I looked at her Wikipedia, and like the last game she put out, or like her name was attached to was Battlefront 2.
Well,
Because she was working on that Star Wars, that Amy Hennig game, I think.
yeah.
That got crushed out, and then whatever the hell Stadia was working on just got crushed out as well. So,
Yeah. Hopefully this one comes into fruition here, and Sony's fitting the bill for this. So,
I mean, she should go back to honestly, like she should go back to Ubisoft.
well, I don't. While they're doing that whole clean out of the people, maybe not. But like, I think she wanted to prove that she could do stuff away from Assassin's Creed and all that she was known for. I think.
But I mean, sure, but her history hasn't proved that out.
But neither one of those is her fault. I think. Like neither one of those is like, okay, the Amy Hennig thing was beyond her, and then the EA motive thing didn't work out, and then well, I mean, the Star Wars thing wasn't her fault.
The Star Wars thing isn't her fault. I would say the Stadia thing is slightly her fault, because anyone could have seen that was not going to do well.
But I mean, also, if Google's offering
Google probably said,
"Oh, say no," like,
Google probably said, like, "Oh, we'll give you $100 million, or make a game." But it's like, okay, but you guys are untrustworthy at best, so.
Right, but who else is going to sit there and offer you that much money to go and make a game? I mean, I'm sure that really hurt her and the other.
Yeah, it's
developers.
like, at that point, what would you rather have? A lot of money and no game, or little money and actually make a game that might be good or bad, good or bad, hopefully good.
Yeah, but you can also use that money to do what she's doing right now, which is, go and do this and then also get Sony to attach her name to it. Like, it's, I think that helped. I mean, yes, her clout for whatever it's worth of years of experience and everything helps, but I think also, like, what just happened to her helps as well in that, okay, she's available, she was just doing something for Google, which is a big company, and then, we can snatch her up and make headlines to say that, okay, we're the ones funding her next thing. So, it sucks. I don't know how many of those people that were on that Google team got to come with her.
Yeah.
But, like, hopefully a lot of them did. And, this actually gets made and gets to be a thing for Sony and Haven, and they get to be a studio after this, So I really hope that things work out this time.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah. Let's hope the saying works out. And also Sony, we talked about what did you talk about at the beginning? The freaking
Oculus Quest.
Oculus.
Fine too,
okay,
yeah.
So they have similar controllers, to these new controllers that Sony has, revealed for the new PSVR 2, and they look like things you just put these circular things you put your hands in. One of them has the button that actually messes with the menu, and then the other one has I think one of them has the R1 and the R2 or whatever.
I mean, they pretty much look like mirror images of one another.
I mean, it's cool though. Like, I like these a lot more than like the Move controllers. So,
well, yeah.
like, they look like they're made so like for you to hold them with your hands. They also kind of look like controllers, but they look cool too. Like, I could see like maybe a boxing game being popular with these kind of controllers or whatever. Or like, it makes it easier to play, say, like a Beat Saber or whatever, which is something that I missed out on because I was not going to go pay $100 for those Move controllers and you couldn't find them anywhere and they never went on sale. It felt like, so I was like, well, you know what? Forget it. And, this is a good step in I feel like right direction as far as if you're updating that VR, this makes it kind of look more modern to me. So,
yeah.
And then they're adding in the stuff from the DualSense controller, the haptic feedback.
I mean, to me, they basically kind of look like inverted Quest controllers.
I think that's kind of what they're going for, though.
Yeah. Like the big ring in the bottom, you just put your hand through instead of the top, which you're not supposed to do.
Yeah. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world that they...
No, I mean, it's a good, design, so sure.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder if this means we're going to get the helmet shown off soon. Because, I mean, why would you send these controllers out and then not have the helmet?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we'll see. I feel like this is also going to get leaked, so they released it now. But cool that we're getting this slow trickle of stuff.
It may just be an E3 thing or something they go out in the summer.
Yeah, but I feel like that's going to be more of where you show off the games or something as well, maybe.
Yeah.
They're going to come out with it. So, before we move along, gotta pay some bills here and discuss Grammarly.
Yep.
We've talked several times about how this helps you in so many ways. In fact, this Google Doc that we use to help us kind of have segments and everything for the show. You can use that. If you use Google Docs for, if you do a podcast or a stream or whatever it is, anything you do to have some kind of coordination and organization, Grammarly can help you with that. Or you can use it for anything, for emails, for whatever. And the cool thing is it's free. You can use our link, which, is the getgrammarly.com/W2 network. If you use that to download the Chrome extension or whatever, that helps us. If you go and get one of our special offers, that even helps us more. But it'd just be nice if you clicked on the link and signed up. It would help us out. And you get something that's useful in so many ways, whether you're using it for a Word doc, whether you're using it for to send an email, whether you're using it to send a message to your friend on Facebook. It's all available to just make you sound smarter, and you put a little thought to whatever you're writing about there. So, use it and let us know too. That'd be nice. So moving along here, because why not? You have this thing called PlayStation at Home that you decided, if you're Sony, right, to come about when COVID was happening. This is our way of getting you some from free games, and they announced this, and of course their big huge title is the Horizon Zero Dawn. After they saw it, people that got mad because they paid for it on PC, but it's now part of this here on April 19th is when it becomes available.
No, Horizon is April 19th, but I think the other games are sooner.
Yeah, it starts next week. Listen, a lot of these games have been free before.
But now they're free if you attach it to your account forever. So.
Yeah, exactly. So that's cool too. And all these games are good. Now, obviously, some of this is not. If you don't have a VR, then. Yeah,
it's 4 VR and the other 6 are regular games.
Well, Thumper is VR and not VR. So you could technically play it outside of the headset. But yeah, Paper Beast, Moss, and Astrobot, which Astrobot and Moss are well worth the damn price. They're both amazing games.
Also Res Infinite.
Yes, Res Infinite too. But, if we're talking VR stuff, even if you are thinking about maybe getting the PSVR 2, it's something that you can save to your account, right? And when that PSVR 2 comes out, I would hope that those games are backwards compatible. You could play it on that.
Yeah.
So, Abzu is a good, relaxation game. It's basically you swim in the water and get into
Yeah. Abzoom Subnautica, only in Subnautica you kill a bunch of stuff.
Exactly. So Subnautica is also that, so you kill things. Enter the Gungeon is a roguelike that you shoot a bunch of stuff with all different types of weapons. So,
yeah, I played it. It was alright.
It's a cool bullet hell. And then Witness is freaking...
I don't like puzzle game.
It's a puzzle game. It's literally a puzzle game. And it's not necessarily the easiest puzzle game either, but
no.
It's cool.
I don't fault people for liking it, but yeah, I just didn't get into it, or I played like an hour. I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, but I mean, obviously, your Horizon Zero Dawn is the one you're gonna tune in for, and I think that's a great move by Sony.
It's also it's nice that it's a complete version too. That I never actually played the winter crap.
Yeah. And in the Color Me Surprised category for the next two things here, or not, actually, don't color me surprised at all, that Activision Blizzard has layoffs, and Bobby Kotick earns himself some money. What do you know? Bobby Kotick, of course this happens a lot. Like, this is not the only CEO in the world that sees layoffs, and then they get a bunch of money. That's not... it's not abnormal. What was it? The Coles lady made a lot of pub for the same thing that they laid off a bunch of people, and then she got a big raise. Like, hello, that's terrible. But Bobby Kotick is, of course, one of those worst people in the world kind of folks.
Heading up the Crimson Guard for for Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
Only Cobra Commander is actually Elon Musk in disguise.
So he is going to get a payout of nearly $200 million. Of course, this is part of that is also like he gets millions in stock bonuses every year.
Yeah.
So now he's going to get more, which
that's the big thing. I mean,
it just looks bad. It looks bad when this happens.
You think optics would factor in, but apparently not.
It's like, this is one of those things like, okay, wouldn't you but obviously he doesn't care, but it's like, wouldn't you try really hard to make sure that stuff didn't get out at the same time that, like, you're announcing layoffs? Like,
it's like we're doing such good business that you have to lay some people off.
I mean, it's their esports division, which we've talked about a few times.
Yeah, I mean, it's not exactly a healthy division at the moment.
Yeah,
so I don't take any fault from for that, or the business for that reason. But yeah, like him going like, oh hey, now I can really swim around my money bank, Scrooge McDuck style. It's like no,
it's not the time, Mr. Kotick, not the time at all.
This is a funny digression, but I was chatting with Sean Cormer on Twitter a few days ago he was talking about Overwatch 2, and like I think they said like Overwatch 2 isn't coming out this year. And how bored he is with Overwatch 1. And I was like, I mean, yeah, Overwatch 1 is in like a maintenance mode. Like, they're not making new shit for it. I mean, they may make a few new costumes, that's about it. Like, they're not making new maps or modes or anything. And then I was like, you want to talk about like, long, I was like, Overwatch 2 will probably come out next year, or maybe the year after that. But Overwatch it's only been around for like 6 years or 7 years. Look at the gap between like Diablo 1 or Diablo 2 and 3, or Diablo 3 and 4, or Warcraft 3, and if they ever make a Warcraft 4 again, like, believe me, Blizzard takes their time making sequels.
Well, that's also did they really need to make an Overwatch 2? Couldn't they have just put all that stuff in Overwatch 1?
I mean, yeah, but you could say the same thing about every, most iterative sequels. And I could see if they really do want to, force an engine change on people to go, no, you need to have this is a different thing. It's not just some, we updated the roster as like a Madden game. It's like, no, we have, legitimate changes in this thing now, so.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna do that, then fine. But, I don't play Overwatch, so I can't comment, but it's like, I also have seen that other thing of okay, well, you're making us wait for stuff that could have been added to the first game, and now why not give us stuff that we can actually do while we're waiting for that second game instead of making us feel like we're kind of doing nothing?
I mean, yeah, but like I said, that's how Blizzard does things.
Or these events that feel like they're seriously meaningless, like...
Oh yeah, I mean, that's how WoW is too, so yeah. I mean, at least Overwatch, you get, like, new shit. Like, I stopped playing WoW a few months ago, but, like, the last WoW holiday was, the spring one, I think. Like, Lunar Festival. And they added, like, nothing new. It was all like, oh, this is from 2 years ago. It's like, okay, like, way to really update stuff, like...
Thanks, not great.
It's like, oh, the items that dropped from the boss are now, like, current, like, appropriate, like, level to, like, current characters now. It's like, that's it? Like, you didn't do anything else? Like...
I guess
But yeah,
not.
most of those games are, like, in maintenance mode, because they have to keep working on the new stuff.
Well, I mean, the sad thing is that close to like 190 people got laid off, and most of them from the esports division.
Hey man, they got $200 in Blitz Store credit, so they're doing alright.
That's one of those things that, like, I do not understand. Like, why is that even a thing? Like,
they can pay their health insurance or their car payment with that thing, no problem.
What in the frickin' world are you gonna do with that? Like,
I mean, you would be better off getting McDonald's gift cards,
No, exactly. Like, why?
I honestly think if I saw it as some generous thing they were doing, like, oh, our employees are such fans of our products that they'll go rush out and spend the credit on whatever they want. But in reality, it's just kind of like a big screw you to them.
Let me tell you, just I mean, like, do these people think that this stuff doesn't get out? Like, does no one think about this and go, maybe we shouldn't give that to people and, like, give them other stuff, like food vouchers or fuck?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know, man. It's stupid. Oh, God. Some folks are just something else. So, yeah, I mean, I hate it. Like, it's just terrible. I mean, I feel like Blizzard just keeps losing people over the past 2 years, and I mean, what is it? Like they said, I think over the past 2 years they've laid off more than 800 employees. That's not good.
But then it's funny because like Activision wants them to make games quicker, and it's like what with
less people?
Yeah.
I mean, you just took one of your best studios and put them over there. I mean, like, yeah, it helps, like Diablo 2, Resurrected, and all that stuff. But it's just like, man, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, Blizzard hasn't been Blizzard for a while. It's
Nah. And in that same category, if I'm not surprised at all, like, seriously, I would be more surprised by AAA games that do come out this year than that don't. So Gotham Knights getting delayed to 2022 is not really surprising.
Yeah.
When that game got announced, I did not think it was going to come out this year.
Nope.
I mean, not to mention it was just the way it was announced too. It just felt like, okay, we're just throwing this out there because there's been rumors about it. Not that it's going to come out or anything, but sure.
Yeah.
So
I'm sure they've made a ton of other games that were canceled quickly, or
Yep. I mean, like, I just don't. Seriously. Again, I've said it every time this comes up, but like, it's gonna happen more. You're gonna see it. Like, you better get used to either your backlog is your friend, Game Pass is your friend, or start liking indies, because that's gonna be the majority of what comes out this year. And even some indies are getting, I talked about last week, like one of the ones that I was waiting on, Minute of Islands, got delayed too.
Yeah.
So, like, just better believe that this is gonna keep being a thing.
Yep.
That being said, another game that I'm sort of looking forward to, I know Jens is a lot more, interested in this. Scarlet Nexus. Of course, the big, like, anime, infused game that has been shown off on several Xbox, events, and now is going to come out June 25th.
Yeah.
2021. It's accepting pre-orders on both the current gen consoles, PC, and the last gen consoles. So basically, It had some like Dark Souls vibes as well in the gameplay. So I think that's got people interested. So I mean, maybe not as much as what's that, Code Vein?
Right. Well, that was like anime vampires, but yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, this has got like much more, I think, of an anime tinge to it than like Code Vein was more of an anime in the way that the story was set up and the characters. But this has got that like anime look to it.
Well, this is like, you know, the city's not, like the world isn't destroyed, like the futuristic Tokyo or whatever. So
yeah,
that helps.
Yeah,
just not just bombed out wreckage, you know.
I'm keeping my eye on Scarlet Nexus for sure.
Yeah.
With that, and can you believe it, Mark? Star Citizen raised money.
Yeah, biggest Ponzi scheme of them all.
Wow.
That game was due out, like, 2016?
That's insane. What?
Yeah,
that is insane. Like,
yeah.
How do you, like, just keep this going that long? And, like, it's now earned more than $350 million.
Right. I mean, yeah, it's never coming out. Or if it does, it'll be so bloated or so... I mean, what they feature creep is like they keep adding in new shit that no one really wants.
Yeah, so they can keep adding in stuff. It's like, so they can keep saying that, okay, well, this is why we need money, and it's like...
Yeah, the game... Like, I mean, originally the game was crowdfunded in 2012. Like, that was like the first one.
God, 2012.
And they said it might be released in 2014. That was 7 years ago. I mean... This is approaching, like, Duke Nukem Forever levels of, like, insanity. Although, at least with DNF, like, they weren't, like, they were spending their own money on that thing. Like, they weren't, like, gouging people and, like, you know, tricking them into supporting this crap. Like...
I mean, yeah, but this feels like every time I hear about this game, is just, how long is it gonna...
If you want a game like that, play Everspace 2, play Rebel Galaxy Outlaws, play Elite Dangerous, or you know, Star Trek Bridge Commander or something, you know, like...
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just never coming out, like, as a boxed, you know, or a actual game you can buy. Like, nope.
It's... yeah, I don't think it's going to be a box property. It's definitely just going to be this thing on PC that, if it ever comes out of, like, early access or whatever, I think that would be just a miracle on its own at that point. And 2K, I mean, sad that Tiger Woods had the accident, obviously. But 2K was able to get Tiger Woods for their golf game.
Yeah.
It's PGA Tour 2K21. Has sold at least like 2 million copies, so hey, people are liking those golf games. And...
Well, it's not like the EA one is doing well anymore, is it?
Nope. Is that thing still coming out?
Probably not. I mean,
I feel like, what was it, Roy McIlroy was the last one that they tried?
Yeah, that was like a 360, or that was an Xbox One game? Or maybe 360? I don't even know, but yeah.
They tried, I guess.
Yeah, well, at that time, they had to get away from Tiger Woods, so...
I mean...
Yeah, their last game, that was that Roy McIlroy game, and it was 2015, so... Yeah, 6 years ago.
Oof.
I mean, that's like, EA does this frequently with it, you know, they're doing it like more, like they have a franchise and just like quietly kind of kill it.
Well, I mean, sometimes it's smart, like the NBA Live thing.
That was a bad one, but I mean, look at like Fight Night. Like,
yeah.
That was
I feel like Fight Night could make a comeback, and they...
Yeah, but it's only been a decade since the last Fight Night. Even like the UFC game, like, you know, that's not annualized. I mean, it could be, but they don't seem to care.
Well, it's probably better if they don't, because they don't...
Well, yeah, but those, this was, I mean, 10 years ago, but those THQ games were pretty annualized, and those were good. That's the reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm glad that they, you know, are bringing Tiger back in for this. I mean, he's done a heck of a lot to redo his image. I don't know what he's like as a, you know, just person day to day or whatever, but
yeah,
he went through some bad crap, and at least he was able to get to a point where he's coming back to golf, and playing more like his old self, and then he has the accident. That kind of sucks, but good for Tiger to get in the game, I guess.
Yeah.
Again, be on that cover. Be the Tiger. So, yeah. With that said, I think that's everything, right? So before we get to our main topic here, let's talk about Amazon Music Unlimited for a moment here.
Yep.
So, look, I get it. Everybody has their preferred music platform that they like at this point. But if for anything else, to support us, if we're on Amazon Music, you can go listen to us, or on Audible, you can listen to us on there as well, and support us that way. But if you click our link, which is getamazonmusic.com/W2Network, and go sign up for that 30-day free trial. I mean, you get 30 days to go test out this service that has any artist you can think of. I mean, any, major pop artists, any, major rock. I mean, it has the Beatles, for God's sake. I mean, it has, artists that are out right now. And from so many times. I mean, it has video game music. I mean, you definitely need to go at least check it out. If you don't like it within that 30 days, you do what you do with anything else, and just remember to cancel, because don't call me and go, hey, I didn't get I can't help you with that, but you gotta call Amazon for that one. But I mean, even then, they have different services. If you have one of those Amazon Echoes or whatever, you can pay, I think it's $3 or $4 a month, and just use it on that. You can get their student package if you're a student. If you have a family that likes music, and so anything helps. Use that link, getamazonmusic.com/W2Network, and drop us a line, drop us a review as well on that Amazon Music service while you're at it. That would be most helpful as well.
Yep.
So, in the spirit of Microsoft, Bethesda, that partnership. Marc plays these games a lot more than I do, so he will be a lot more vocal here than I will. But we figured, why not do a best Bethesda games top 5 here? I'm sure.
Top 5, okay.
Or I don't know, just the best Bethesda. Doesn't have to be your top 5, I guess. I don't know. I figured you would have done that by now on your illustrious how many years it's been doing top 8 columns.
Well, that's because Bethesda doesn't have 8 good games, I don't think.
What do you mean? Bethesda Softworks has all these. I mean, it's more recent, right, than in the early years. But I mean, things definitely changed for them when Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind, and then it took a while. I mean, they were making Star Trek games for a while, and they finally, I think,
we all know how illustrious those were.
Yeah, those were.
I mean, yeah, Bethesda, they were a developer, now they're more of a publisher,
right.
Especially with Microsoft owning them now, but, back in the day, they used to make a bunch of weird, licensed crap, and then, Wayne Gretzky hockey.
Wayne Gretzky hockey. Pirates of the Caribbean, even.
Right.
Who would have thought?
Yeah. I mean, for me, I would say, I don't think I could do a top 5, but, as far as, Bethesda made games, I could do a top 3. I mean, I would say my number 3 would probably be Skyrim.
Okay.
I mean, I like how it plays. I just don't like the environment that much. And I find just some of the systems are a little wonky in that game, I thought, and it's just not as creative. It's just very. I think the world is very bland in that game, personally.
Why do you say that? 'Cause
it's just snowy area or snowy land. It's not
definitely
it's very Nord focused or it's Viking land or something like that,
Right.
And there is occasionally weird shit to do in there, or weird stuff you can find. But compared to Morrowind especially, or even parts of Oblivion, it's just not that it's just not that exciting.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely what you think about that game is not necessarily that. It's more of like the openness, the I can go anywhere, do anything kind of thing.
Sure. And like the gameplay itself, like, fighting is good, or, better than most games, better than especially Oblivion. But, yeah. What about, like, what would be your favorites then? Or like,
I mean, like, most of the stuff I play is like either the Doom or the Wolfenstein.
Well, I mean, yeah, I would say don't make.
The shooters. So. I mean, but like, it's part of the, I guess, Bethesda, like, packet stuff. They, ZeniMax, Bethesda owns all that stuff now. But, like, I don't play a lot of, I guess what you consider the Bethesda Game Studios games, right?
Right.
I'm playing more of the other ZeniMax.
What, you didn't play the NES version of Home Alone?
No. But I was looking at more of like Bethesda as a publisher. Like that's what they're bringing over. It's that entire package of studios. And when you look at that, like for me, that first, Wolfenstein: The New Order was such a like great game of a great mix of story and then also just awesome, fun shooter gameplay that had its challenges too. I mean, it wasn't super easy or whatever, but it just made like killing Nazis fun. Like
I liked it because it was a stealth game, or
that too.
It was action but also stealthy. That's what I didn't like about Wolfenstein 2 is they took the stealth out, or they really made it bad.
Well, they didn't just take the stealth out; they made it to where like you, and then they also made it overly difficult.
Yeah, I stopped playing because I got stuck because I was in like the Empire State Building and I just kept dying. Like this, like it had to like wait around like 10 minutes this arena, and I'm like, this is not fun at all. So
yeah,
later,
like you like made this a ridiculous. Like, there's so many parts of that was like, why am I dying here constantly? Or you'd go kill you'd go find the stupid sergeant randomly, kill him.
Yeah.
And then some other random dude would come and kill you. Like, oh, what the hell? Okay.
Right.
Thanks. The Doom Eternal, I liked more than that first Doom, reboot. But Doom Eternal was, really great. They just absolutely, like, it's funny because, like, you look at that and you go, oh man, you can't do id better than what it used to be or whatever. And I think that they finally kind of found that mixture that works for them. And I mean, there was a lot going on, right? You could easily get killed by any of those things. They had like so many different types of enemies in that game, but I enjoyed it. So that's my thing. Like I'm not a Western RPG guy, so like all those the Elder Scrolls and Fallout, all that stuff is not my bag like it is, for Randy and maybe for you.
Me?
But,
yeah, I mean, like my number 2 would probably be like Fallout 3, actually.
Yeah.
I like a lot of New Vegas. Obsidian made that one, but like that game has too many systems, I think. Like, especially the stupid ammo system, or it's like, the energy pistol can have like regular energy cells, it can have depleted cells, or it can have like overcharged cells. It's like this, who cares? Like, and it's like, oh, the depleted cells work better against humanoids, but the overcharged cells work better against like robots. It's like, no, I don't care, like, really.
Yeah.
Like, and like that game also had like some really funky engine problems, that like Fallout 3 had also, but it wasn't like they were trying to make New Vegas like be a bigger experience and it didn't quite work correctly. I just like Fallout 3 a lot more. As far as like I like the Wasteland more, or the Capital Wasteland. Like, it was a more interesting area to walk around in. I like the story. I liked a lot of the characters. I thought the subway system kind of sucked. Like, the tunnels, but that's kind of about it. And you can get around. I mean, if you got used to it, it was fine. Plus I really bought Fallout in like, the current generation. So there was some like funky isometric RPG in the past. So
yeah, no, it definitely became different with Fallout 3.
Yeah.
So,
and I like the sense of humor. I mean, it wasn't quite like the old style, but it was like close enough.
I mean, I know you aren't like necessarily the biggest fans, but I think like Dishonored also deserves its.
Yeah, I mean it's well made. It's just not my my bag. Like I guess by that metric, I'd probably say Prey's better.
Yeah, I mean that's one that I hope people really do get to check out now that it's on Game Pass. Is Prey? Like I might even do that on. I mean, you reviewed the game, so
yeah, I liked it. Prey was cool. And probably my top Bethesda game would be Morrowind still.
Wow, going all the way back to the OG Xbox.
Yeah, I played that. I tried to play Morrowind on the PC, and I don't really like it, but I'm just so used to the Xbox, how that one controls, and like the weird stuff you can do in that game. Like, that makes it like funny. Because I mean, it really is like the PC version. Like, you can even like kind of crash the game in certain spots if you're like really messing around with it if you're trying to.
Yeah,
but,
I mean,
yeah, I just think that's such an inventive game. Like, the big, the taxis in the game are these big bugs that like walk around. It's like, this is weird, but okay.
I mean, it was something different for the time, So like, I think just have a game like that back on, that system, I think was huge for that time. I mean, now this is like everywhere, but I think it says something about that.
I mean, it was like magical at the time because like even like the minimum requirements of that game were more than the Xbox, but still somehow got it for running that thing.
Yeah, and run decently as well. It's not like it ran awful. So
right.
Yeah, I think Evil Within 2 is better than 1, but that game is also well worth noting as well, I think.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Evil Within, I mean, it's crazy how it has its fans, because everybody wants Evil Within 3. Even though I feel like Jens and Randy weren't the biggest fans of Evil Within the first one.
Right.
But I feel like 2 was much better.
Well, it's always the same thing about like 1 is like a prototype or like test proof of concept, and then 2 is like where they get it right. At least hopefully.
Yeah, I mean the thing with Bethesda lately, outside of Doom Eternal, is and they've had a really string of like not so great,
What are you talking about, man? Rage 2 was all the rage.
Yeah. Like I don't think they could give that thing away. Like how much people did not, like that game.
Well, it's funny because like Rage 1, I mean, it made that, but it's like Rage 1 wasn't like a huge seller, or it wasn't like that game had a lot of problems when it came out.
Yeah, but it wasn't like disliked. I feel like it was just like it was this cult classic that they had, and then so Rage 2 comes out and it's like, okay, well, sure.
There was no Brink or Rogue Warrior.
Yeah, no, or Wet. Yeah.
Well, Wet's fine. I mean, it's generic, I guess, but it has like a decent Metacritic. I think it's 70% or something like that.
Yeah. No, I think that's the thing. Like even Wolfenstein started, and 2 was it had a good story. I felt like, but again, the gameplay is not. They digress a little bit on that. But I mean, like after that, you had the Fallout 76 debacle, which obviously they've been able to improve that over time, thankfully. Wolfenstein Youngblood was not
nope.
good. The VR thing is what it is, whatever. And then we'll see what happens with them with Deathloop and Ghostwire Tokyo.
Yeah.
This year. So
I gotta say that producer leaving Ghostwire Tokyo doesn't exactly bode well for that game.
Yeah, I mean, that was kind of sad because she had her own vision for that game, and then like just quickly after that leaving is not. Yeah, not something you want to hear for sure. But
she can go work for Jade Raymond.
And you were not the biggest Fallout Shelter.
I never played it. I mean, no.
There was people that like loved that game because you could make your own thing on that.
Yeah, you can make your own shelter or whatever. But it's like, I don't want to do that.
You're not the creative person, but I mean, I'm not that much either.
Yeah.
I'm like a creative character. All right, I'm just gonna put in stuff that either I try to make them look like me, or I'll just use the whatever standard.
I usually use like default, and then make change like the eye color, and that's about it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have to spend 3 hours making a character in like Jens.
No, yeah, I don't want to do that either. I used to make a big deal about like changing the names of the characters too, and I don't do that anymore either. It's just like, all right, whatever that character's supposed to be called, cool. That's the name. Let's go with that. Fine. So, but I mean, I'm sure everybody has their favorite Bethesda published game, the ZeniMax games. What are some of yours? You can hit us up, WTMnetwork@gmail.com. Hit me up at WTMSean, at Humanity Plague for Marc, at Jens Aperture Silence, let him know, as well. Or, you can also go visit our Facebook page, WTMnet.com. And we also go to the website, WTMnet.com, and you can, read Marc's reviews and my review, Randy's review, and also just, check out the other podcasts as well. They didn't have a chapter select this week, but they will have one on the pedestrian, I think, next week. So you can go and check out Randy and Jens' thoughts on that. And yeah, well, I think that about does it. Like, next week, maybe not next week itself, because we do the podcast on the day that these games that come out, but March 26th is apparently the day that everything wants to come out for games. Anyway, you got, if you're a Monster Hunter fan, you've got Monster Hunter Rise coming on the 26th, and also, the game we mentioned there, Balan Wonderland, is coming. If you haven't played Yakuza 6 yet, you can play that on Game Pass the day before. Octopath Traveler coming to Game Pass as well. You can also, what else was it that's coming, that day? It Takes Two, also coming out that day. So, hopefully, if you have a significant other, to play it with, you can't play it by yourself, but that seems like a game that you'll want to play with a significant other or a friend, just to have that co-op experience, which most of Joseph Fares' games seem to be that way. EVO finally comes out. I feel like it's been promoted forever for the consoles there. And Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1 and 2 coming to PS5 and the series. And that's a game Marc liked a lot.
Yeah.
So, and that Disco Elysium Final Cut's coming pretty soon there too.
Set in Australia.
Yeah, set in Australia. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who've been waiting for that game to come to consoles, so have at it, folks. It's almost there. Yeah. Don't go buy that Plants vs. Zombies thing on the Switch, though.
No, no one ever should.
Save yourself that money, folks. Don't bother with that. But, yeah. Lots to check out for that next week, though. There's plenty of things there. And then Kingdom Hearts, if for some reason on God's Green Earth you have not played that series and you were waiting for it to come to PC, that's all coming at the end of the month, too.
A few overexpensive packages.
Well, I mean, it is what they cost. I mean, I don't know how quick they're going to go on a sale on the Epic Games Store, but I mean, you could also just, for the price of one of those, when it goes on sale, I bought it, the all-in-one package thing. So, yeah, go do that. That's also a thing. But alright, until next week. Which, I forgot. Xbox announced that Indie Showcase thing for the 26th. That's also happening on that day. Yeah. They're promising 100 games or something. That's insane. But yeah. Alright, until next week, everybody. We'll see you later.
Later.